Hey people, it's Chemo. No music, no fanfare, no usual rant today. Just some straight truth for you people, okay? Do you know 80% of Americans still believe the Federal Reserve is owned by the United States federal government? False, okay? The Federal Reserve is about as federal as Federal Express, Federal Lock and Safe, Federal Chicken, okay? It's only federal by name only, just like Federal Express, right? It is owned by those under the Red Shield in the Rothschild banking system. Based in England, which there's banks here in New York, which has the US and 10 other major countries in economic chaos and bankruptcy right now. 48 years ago, one brave man, John F. Kennedy, signed into law Executive Order 11110, which would have abolished the Federal Reserve from their agenda and would have given this country and other countries their own monetary systems to be monitored by their own countries and put an end to the tyranny and thievery the Federal Reserve has done to our countries for over 100 years. 5 months after he signed this bill into law, he was assassinated in Dallas. LBJ took over and went against Executive Order 11110, which has currently put us in the situation we're in now. Ever since John F. Kennedy signed Executive Order 11110, and since then, and his assassination, no other president has had the guts to stand up to the Federal Reserve ever since. Now, this same banking system has our country $14 trillion in debt and continues to skyrocket. Another bailout of their system is about to happen, which would give CEOs of these failed institutions bonuses again for failing at their jobs to protect the people and the money that they handle, and drive us further into poverty. Well, they get bonuses for robbing people of their wealth. Now, if they do this, it jumps us from 14 trillion to 100 trillion. Now, I know that seems like a fake number, but it's the truth, and it's happening now. Do you realize your children, little children, and your unborn children at this point are all more than $50,000 in debt each before they're even born, or before they can even vote, for that matter, or work, or do anything? They are all over $50,000 in debt. Jobs are being shipped elsewhere. Homes are being taken away by the very system everybody put trust in. When's it your turn? Tomorrow? Next week? Next month? The end of this year? When? Nobody knows, because it seems that it falls apart little by little. And we've seen it in mass numbers lately. And everybody has stood by and watched it happen. Now, the promise made to us by our current president all went away after the Bilderberg summits, by the way. And that was between the corporate leaders, the unfederal reserve, as I like to call them, and our global leaders. Now is the time when we should not only demonstrate in the streets, but I'm calling to everyone in the United States and in the world to make any and all attempts to contact your leaders, senators, representatives, governors, presidents, whoever leads your countries, all leaders, to reinstate JFK's Executive Order 11110 and end the Federal Reserve forever and the financial thievery that has been forced upon our people around the world. I'm looking right at you, Obama. Oh yeah. Reinstate Executive Order 11110 so we can have our country back. Or did you forget that you were elected by the people, for the people, not by the corporations and the banks, for the corporations and the banks? All right? People, stand up. Let them know we are sick of this. End the Federal Reserve now. Any extra information you need, go to our webpage for End the Fed Canyon City. Or, hell, I'm even going to post the link to show everyone what Executive Order 11110 was, and the fact that it has never been abolished. It is still in place, And it is something the world leaders and our own current president should reenact now before this gets any further out of hand. Because I'll tell you, if it gets any worse, people won't just be demonstrating in the streets. And that's what they want. They want, by process of elimination, for us to eliminate ourselves so they can get richer and we can fall further into poverty. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Peace out, world. Help us out. Do what you got to do.